Hello, ladies. Many of you know me, and you know that I'm an animal lover. I rescue animals off the street, and I'm one of the founding members of Animal Welfare Elaine. We've tried for years to help these animals as much as we can, but another place we can help animals is by leaving them off of our plates. Let me explain. You see, there's many studies that show that eating meat causes heart disease, high blood pressure, and cancer. Never in the history of mankind have people eaten as much meat as we do these days, and especially meat that that comes from animals that have been injected with so many hormones and supplements that are just not natural and not healthy. Since I teach sustainability at Elaine Women's and Elaine Men's colleges, and since we know how much damage those huge factory farms do to our environment, I feel like I'd be a real hypocrite if I told you how much damage meat does and then if I continued to eat it. And the massive dairy farms are just as bad. Both release tons of methane into the air, which contributes to global warming. And morally, I have a problem with dairy as well. Have you ever seen the baby cows taken from their mothers as soon as they're born? This is so the farmer can use the milk from the mother to make cheese and yogurt and other dairy products. Again, I just refuse to participate in this system. Now, keep in mind, I'm not talking about the small family farms here. Those are indeed sustainable. However, if you eat meat or dairy, how can you be sure where yours comes from? Unless, of course, it's your own farm. But just to be on the safe side, I don't eat either. My diet is plant-based. So many of my students ask me, so what do you eat? Well, I decided I would share some of my food and recipes with you in this club. You will see that my diet is so much more than tofu and nuts, as some of my so-called friends have said. My food is delicious and nutritious, and I'm in excellent health and take no supplements. Let me share with you. Thank you. Let me share with you one of my favorite recipes. It's making vegan cream cheese. Okay, so this is all you need. About 12 ounces of tofu or 340 grams. You need a half a cup of coconut oil. You need 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and about a fourth of teaspoon of fresh dill. But you know, I love fresh dill, so I always add a little extra. And then 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of salt. You don't want to make it too salty, but it does need some salt. You might want to change that to your own individual taste. And I included a picture of my dog Wilfred because he loves to watch when I cook. He hopes that I will drop something so he can have a tasty snack. Okay, let me show you how to do it. So you could buy a really expensive tofu press, but instead I just wrap my tofu in a clean kitchen towel or cloth. Wrap it up really good, and all you need to do is get the water out of the inside. So I just take a heavy cast iron skillet and I set it on top and just leave it there for about 4 or 5 minutes, and that gets rid of all the water. So I've got a scale here that I ordered from Amazon, and I just put the bowl on it and then turn it on, and it automatically sets to 0. It doesn't weigh the bowl. Now I've taken my tofu out of the cloth and it's had the water drained out of it. So I'm just going to break off some pieces until I have 340 grams of tofu. It's just about going to take the whole package. Oh, really close. Oh, 350. I need to just take a little bit out. Oh, 345. I'm close. 341. I'd say that's close enough. So this is what I have left. And there's my 300. Oh, no, well, 341, 342, close enough. You can just mix all the ingredients in a bowl with a fork or a spoon, but I have this food processor, so I'm just going to mix everything in here. Just makes it easier. It's a bit more to clean up, but it really mixes it all well and helps, get everything combined. And it's a little bit more dishes to wash, but that's okay. Okay, here's 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. So what I do is I buy a bag of lemons and I just go on ahead and make lemon juice out of them, and I keep them in a bottle, keep the juice in a bottle in the refrigerator. So this recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'll add the lemon juice now to my food processor. Okay, I need a 1/2 cup of coconut oil. So this is the kind of coconut oil I use. And here's my 1/2 cup measuring cup. I'll just fill that in and pour that in the food processor. Here's the nutritional yeast that I use. You can pick this up at Lulu, or you can get it from Amazon online. But this is really full of good nutritional value. You'll notice that there's no sugar. It's gluten-free, and basically what this does is, in addition to adding nutritional value to your food, it also kind of gives it like a cheesy flavor or taste, but there's no dairy, no cheese. Here's the onion powder that I use, but you can get this in almost any grocery store. So I need 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And the spoon won't. So I'll add 1 teaspoon of onion powder. The last ingredient is 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of salt. And I don't use just regular table salt. I use Himalayan pink salt. Much, much healthier. You have to turn it upside down and twist it. So I did that, and I've got some in this bowl. Now I'm going to measure out about somewhere between 1.5 and 2 teaspoons of salt. Now the recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon of dill, but I love to use fresh dill, so I'm going to cut this up. But I'm going to add that at the very end after I've mixed it all up. Okay, so I've added all the ingredients. And I've got the switch on, so I'm just going to turn it on very slowly and let it start blending or mixing. And I'll slowly speed it up. Now I need to stop and scrape the sides. So I just use my spatula and I scrape down the sides so that everything can get mixed in really well. Okay, let's try it again. Put the top back on, lock it in place. The recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon of dill. Well, this is clearly more than 1/4 teaspoon, but I love dill, so I'm going to put in a little bit extra. But I'm just going to sprinkle it around like this. And then I'll stir it, kind of get it mixed up, and it's ready to serve. Voila. Get a cracker and enjoy, or even some fresh carrots and celery. It would be delicious to dip them in it. Yum, yum. I bought some of these crackers. The only thing I don't like is they come in packages. It's such waste. It's a package in a package. So, but anyway, these are pretty healthy, and I'm gonna have a little cheese and crackers. There's my cheese and crackers. Delicious on crackers, or like I said, with carrots or celery, or lots of possibilities. So that's the end of my recipe. I hope you enjoy it. Please feel free to send me an email and let me know if you have any ways to make this recipe better, if you made it and you liked it. And in the meantime, I'll work on the next recipe. Okay, you guys take care. Stay safe. Bye bye.